Self-presentation allows us to communicate information on us to others. Self-presentation uses verbal and non-verbal communication. We let others know who we are or how we want to be seen. We use identity labels to define ourselves, such as I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm nice. The narrower these labels are, the more we feel threatened by others and the less we feel that we have an impact on our surroundings. The broader we define ourselves, the easier we cope with setbacks and are able to try and do something again, and the more we experience the impact we have on our surroundings. Broader identity labels cause that we don't feel like we should permanently defend ourselves. We feel more connected to others and support them and ourselves with greater ease. We feel to be part of the problem. To prepare our self-presentation ourselves as information on who we are or how we want to be seen is an important element in defining the tone and the quality of the communication we have with others. The evolutionary goal of our self-presentation and our communication is to be accepted as valuable parts of society. To be able to present ourselves effectively, we need to make some decisions. The first decisions concern the content of our self-presentation. We need to establish the concrete goal of our self-presentation. Is it about finding a job or a partner? Or do we want to promote a specific skill we possess? When establishing the goal, we need to take the concrete context in which we live into consideration. Next, we need to establish which viewer emotions we want to evoke. If we want to amaze our viewers with our ability to change the world, we need to show strength. If we want to evoke sympathy or empathy, we need to show warmth. Then there is the form the self-presentation should take. Video is a choice for a specific form. For this we need to use a device that records sound and vision, a camera. Each decision we'll consequently make decides whether it will be seen on video as warm or strong, or as both warm and strong, or as neither warm nor strong. It is important to make a basic decision. Do we record ourselves in one take without editing, or will we edit our self-presentation? It is advisable to record oneself in one take with an approximately 90-second duration. This will be the foundation for a solid self-presentation. The next decision concerns what or who will be seen in the video. It is important to establish what we'll concretely show in the frame. Will we show people, or objects, or a landscape, or a bit of everything? The elements can be both literal and symbolical. Next, we can add layers to the image: sounds, words, and music. It all depends on our idea, then on the decisions, and after that on the consequent implementation of our decisions. Now let's return to the recommended form of a recording in one take of a person who's visible during 90 seconds. Our initial question is, how much of us should be seen in the frame? The frame is that part of reality that is being seen by the camera. Important is the ratio between how much of us and how much of our surroundings will be visible. The frame is being decided by the distance of the camera to us, the type of equipment used, the level of zoom, the lighting, and the arrangement of the surroundings in which we are filmed, the film set. Film theory stipulates that 8 film frames exist, that is, 8 ways to define what is visible within the frame. A choice for one of the 8 film frames is a choice for a concrete meaning associated with the frame. Extreme long shot shows an environment within which the action takes place. People are hardly visible. They blend in with the background. This is used to show a broad overview of a setting. Extra long shot, view on the place of action. People are recognizable, but mostly the surroundings fill the frame. This is used to show the specific place of action. Long shot shows a cutout of the extra long shot. In the frame, people are shown as a whole with some of their surroundings. American shot shows a cutout of the long shot. A person is seen from the knee up. This is mostly used for scenes with dialogue. Medium shot shows a person from the waist up. The person dominates the frame. The frame emphasizes facial expressions. Medium close-up shows a person from the chest up. The frame emphasizes facial expressions, movements of the hands and emotions. The background is hardly visible. Close-up. A person's head almost fills the entire frame. This enables precise observation of details or facial expressions. Big close-up, a very accurate form of zoom. In the frame there is a detail of a body or of another object that is important for an action. The frame forges attention and evokes emotional suspense. The composition in the frame is important. Decisions need to be made about what in the frame draws attention to itself, whether the frame composition is symmetrical or asymmetrical, and whether it is harmonious or not. The presence of everything that can be seen in the frame must have a legitimation. As important within the frame is the action, event or activity. This is especially important for short recordings. The attention is focused on something different, for instance, when we record while driving a bike, or when we stand motionless in front of a white background and talk straight into the camera. The consequence of framing is that a directed object is being placed in a certain way in a whole, and thereby has a specific effect on the viewer. In every frame, our decision about our surroundings is as important as our decision about ourselves. Every element has a meaning and influences how we are seen. On the film set, we're able not only to add elements, but also to take away elements, to change the meaning and intensity of the image. Our next decision concerns color. Color has an enormous impact. It is one of the basic means to express meaning and aesthetics. Color evokes emotions not so much as a symbol, but rather on the basis of its daily use. We can use cold, strong colors. Almost all over the world, blue, green and purple are experienced as cold. We can also use warm colors, red, orange and yellow. The last important decision concerning image is about light. Light can be hard, causing hard lines, edges and shadows, or soft and diffuse, leading to soft, blurry lines and shadows. Light has several colors. Yellow light is warm light, for instance lamp light or other artificial light. White light is cold light, for instance natural daylight. Which light to use depends on our vision, what kind of mood, emotions or person we'd want to depict. Except light, also sound is important for our self-presentation in the form of a human voice, background music or sound effects. By means of our voice, we provide an extra layer of meaning to our thoughts as a result of the way we talk, intonation, speed and timbre. All these elements define us as a person. Next, we need to concern ourselves with background noises during our recording. Unnecessary sounds that have nothing to do with what is visible within the frame can completely ruin the content and form of our self-presentation. Let's return to the topic of ourselves in the frame. Besides what we say, also our non-verbal communication is important in our self-presentation. We must decide how much of our day-to-day behavior we'll show. Our body movements, our facial expressions, the way we move our eyes. We must ask ourselves whether our non-verbal communication is in line with our words in the video, with the context of the video and with the goal of our self-presentation. For instance, it is advisable to control our movements if we want to make a professional impression. The way we look is also a part of the image we create. Our hairdo, our style of clothing, our makeup. Again, our goal is important, but we also need to take into consideration that the video can be distributed beyond our target audience. By making conscious decisions, we're capable of creating a positive message on ourselves that we're able to defend to others. Production is the time in which we prepare the recording and then implement it. It is important beforehand to summarize what we want to say in bullet points, find someone to record us, and plan the day and time of the recording and a deadline to publish the results. Post-production is what happens after the recording. It is important to safely store the video. By means of one of the many free online available editing programs, we can now simply add titles at the beginning and the end of the video. Any given moment while creating our video, we can steer its outcome. It is important to find a balance time and again, keep calm and see limitations as guidelines rather than as weak points. Our video, our self-presentation is ready. The recordings are done and post-production is finished. Now we must view our product to experience whether we agree with it. We should give ourselves time to analyze all our choices and decisions that appear in our video in a process of self-reflection and constructive confrontation with ourselves. Do we accept ourselves in the video? When we accept ourselves in the video, that is, when the video content and form are in line with our goal, we accept the video as our self-presentation. If not, then we must film again up to the moment that we accept the result as our self-presentation. Only after we've accepted ourselves in the video, we invite others to look at it, be it online or offline. The autonomous creation of our self-presentational video is a way to let other people know who we are and how we want to be seen. It helps us to confront ourselves constructively. It is an effective process of self-perfectioning.